This was like one of the biggest shocks to me. I'm sure there will be more Easter eggs to clown about throughout this tour. I think I blacked out for a minute. That was shocking, to say the least. I really wish she just would have played like a chorus of Sparks Fly. Speak Now is my favorite album. I'm literally gonna die if I ever hear that song live. And I did. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Nina. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. So today marks 1 month since the Eras Tour started, and a few months ago I made a video with my ideal set list and my predictions for the tour, and so today I went back and watched that video to see what I got right, what I got wrong. I also just wanted to talk about my reaction to the actual show, the songs, the playlist, the outfits, like all the things. So now that it's been a month, I've had a while to think about it, and now I'm ready to sit down and talk about it. If you have not seen the Eras Tour yet and are going and have tickets to go to one of the shows, maybe don't watch this video because I'll be just talking in depth about the songs, the set list, the costumes, and everything. So if you want to keep it a surprise, there are spoilers in this video, so that is my warning. If you haven't seen the show yet and you want to keep it a surprise, maybe don't watch this video until after you see the show. That's just my little disclaimer here. But I attended the first 2 shows of the Eras Tour in Arizona, and that was the first time ever that I went to a Taylor Swift concert that I had no idea what the set list was, the costumes, obviously, because it was the first show on the 1989 and Reputation tour. I looked up the entire set list, I saw every outfit, knew everything that was gonna happen, so by the time that I went to the concert, nothing was really a surprise to me, so this concert was like really cool to experience for the first time ever, nobody knowing what was gonna happen. And then subsequently, for the past month, I've been watching it on live stream on TikTok, Tumblr, like everywhere, and I'm giving myself major FOMO. It's been really cool to see like how over the past month she's been able to keep the show exciting by having different outfit variations. Obviously, the surprise songs are different every single night, and a few other things that she's just kind of like switched up on us. But first, I wanted to go through and look at the predictions that I made in my video 3 months ago and see and compare what I got right, what I got wrong. And so I watched that video this morning, and it was just kind of funny because I had not watched it since I posted it. So I really didn't remember what I said in that video, and the more that I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually got a lot of things right. I got a lot of things wrong, but I was really surprised about the amount of things that were actually at the tour. The first thing that I got right was that I said that there was going to be a clock in the opening sequence, and I will insert footage of me from that video talking about it. She's definitely going to incorporate the clock. There's gonna be probably some kind of countdown to midnight. I talked about the opening of the show being grand and just like visually big and everything, which we knew. Taylor Swift always opens her shows with like an amazing opening sequence. But I did say that there was going to be a clock, and I did say there was going to be a countdown. I may have gotten the opening song wrong, but like the visual in my head was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I also talked about the playlist before Taylor Swift came on stage, and again, killer playlist. And as soon as that song comes on, you know that the show is about to begin really shortly. And so for this tour, someone had posted the playlist of songs that plays before Taylor Swift goes on, and the second to last song is Applause by Lady Gaga. And so I think that is like such a great song to put second to last on the playlist, because it's like, it really hypes you up, and it like, as soon as you hear that song, you're like, oh, she's coming on soon. And so the second night when we heard Applause come on, we were like, oh my gosh, only one more song. The song that she chose to be playing while this countdown on the screen was happening was a song called You Don't Own Me, I think. Which I think is so symbolic, obviously, because the re-records and everything, really iconic of her to choose that song. And then obviously it counts down, lights go out, the giant clock zooms out onto the stage. I don't think I could have ever predicted the song that she would open with. It was like so shocking, but then you think about it and you're like, but it's so obvious. So she opens with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, but like a very ethereal version of it, where in the opening it says It's been a long time coming. I have watched the video that I took of that opening moment so many times because of just how amazing it was. It took a while for the lyrics to register. I'm like, oh, a long time coming. Oh, like Miss Americana. Like it took a minute to like get there. And in the background, you can hear the names of the different albums. Fearless, Speak Now. You know, all the things, 1989, whatever, which I love that. I assumed she was gonna do something like that where she'd like include all the titles in the opening sequence, but when they had their big like fan things and they like, you know, revealed Taylor coming out of the ground, I think I blacked out for a minute. But yeah, that was crazy. And like, I think that line, it's a long time coming, it makes so much sense because it has been such a long time coming for Taylor to be back on tour. It's been 5 years. And looking back, I'm pretty sure like, I think it was either Taylor Nation or Taylor Swift, like one of their posts said it's a long time coming. There was a few Easter eggs that led to that. Also, some of the VIP packages on Ticketmaster were called like It's a Long Time Coming ticket package or whatever, and so I just don't know why we didn't put that together. So anyways, she opens with Miss Americana and she doesn't sing the whole song, she just sings a chorus and then it kind of like fades out and then bam into Cruel Summer. That was the move. Like I just wasn't expecting that so soon. It was like, of course we've been waiting so long to hear Cruel Summer live, you know, ever since Loverfest got canceled. So I think like opening with the Lover era was really giving Lover its moment. It's like a little mini Loverfest and a little taste of what that would have been like. I wonder if she used the same designs for the costume that she was gonna wear for the Loverfest. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Oh, the outfit that's like one of my favorite outfits from the entire concert. It's just like the most beautiful glittery thing ever. Was not expecting the structure of the concert to be the way that it is. Of course, it's by era, but it's not chronological, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. The fact that she started with Lover made so much sense because, you know, it is still fairly recent, but it's also the first album that came out after Reputation. So she really wanted to like give Lover its moment because obviously it didn't get the tour or anything like that. I love that she sang The Man. That was iconic. The custom Louboutin shoes. I love that, again, Taylor Swift has done this multiple times in her tours where she'll have different variations of each outfit. And so far the Lover one I think has 2 or 3 variations for that glittery bodysuit. And then we have a couple different jackets that she puts on for The Man. And throughout the show, obviously because there's 44 songs on the set list, she has to do kind of like an abridged version of some of the songs. So maybe she'll sing the first verse and the chorus. So for I Need to Calm Down, she only sang a verse and a chorus. And I think she sang the bridge. I don't know. She did a shortened version of You Need to Calm Down. And then she came out and she sang Lover and she sang the entire song with her guitar. And I loved that was like the opening part where she gave her little speech. And like one of my favorite parts of the Taylor Swift concert is when she introduces herself and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm Taylor. And it's like, no shit. And I think it was at that point I realized, oh, okay, she's going by each era. And then I was actually surprised. I thought Lover was gonna be the last song in the block, but The Archer, she sang The Archer, and it's like one of my favorite songs on Lover, and I literally cried during The Archer. That was like a good transition into Fearless, which was the next song in the block. Oh, I totally even forgot to talk about the Lover House. Oh my god. But obviously in the opening sequence, there's rooms from the Lover House popping up on the screen, and that made me lose my mind. And I think the Lover House was a good representation of the eras because, you know, over time it became like almost like a joke that the Lover House is running out of rooms. Like there's no way Taylor intended it to be this way. It just worked out that there was like the perfect amount of rooms for, you know, up until Evermore at least. I really love that she added that element, and when she was playing Lover, the Lover House was in the background and it was just like the most beautiful visual ever. So when Fearless was coming, you could see that Fearless room was was highlighted and it came center stage, and so you knew Fearless was next, which made a lot of sense because she started with Lover that was more recent, and then she went all the way back to Fearless, which was the most nostalgic little, era ever. I was actually really surprised that she played the title track. Like, I wasn't expecting her to play Fearless, but that was like one of the best openings for that because she came skipping out with her sparkly guitar, which I predicted that she would bring back the sparkly guitar. Her pulling in different elements from each tour that she's done. I would love to see the sparkly guitar. So that was really cute. And the dress, the gold fringe. She did her little skip in like the Fearless twirls with her guitar, which was so cute that she brought back those little details, because there's a video from the Fearless tour where she spins around and she's playing Fearless with her sparkly guitar. She added the hand heart. So nostalgic, so cute. And she goes on to sing You Belong With Me and Love Story. I was actually expecting more songs from the Fearless era because, again, that was like her breakthrough album, and she had just re-released Fearless, Taylor's version. I was happy with the Fearless block. It was really cute, nostalgic, gets you jumping on your feet right away. Something I got wrong is that I really thought she was going to bring some of the Fearless vault into the tour, but she did not. I thought maybe Mr. Perfectly Fine or The Way I Loved You or just like some of those songs, but alas, she did not bring those in, which is fine. She'll probably play them for a surprise song, but we'll get to that later. And then right after Fearless, this was like the most whiplash thing ever, is going straight into Evermore, because when I saw the trees and the forest coming out, I was like, oh, she's going straight into Folklore. But no, this was like one of the biggest shocks to me is when she came out of the ground and we heard the opening notes to 'Tis the Damn Season. Never in a million years did I think 'Tis the Damn Season was going to be on the set list. That was like the biggest shock ever. It was a nice surprise because I was like, oh my gosh, so she's giving Evermore what it deserves, finally. And I think it was a bit of like a wild card block. I think I was shocked by almost every aspect of the Evermore block. She sings 'Tis the Damn Season. We're just recovering from that, and she starts singing Marjorie. And I was like, what? This is probably one of the least well-known songs on the album, although I love it so much, obviously all the diehard Swifties know Evermore, but I feel like a lot of people in the stadium were like, what are these songs? We don't know them, especially the people around us were sitting down, they didn't really know the song, which is fine, but it was just shocking. That must have been a personal choice of Taylor, because obviously Marjorie is about her grandma, how she's left her dreams to her, so I think it was a very full circle thing. And even though I can't relate to Marjorie, I get really emotional. That song is just very emotional, especially watching Taylor sing it, and she's getting emotional. So that was just the cutest thing ever, to see her get to play Marjorie in a stadium and sing with her grandma, to her grandma. That was a nice moment. And of course she sang Willow. It was, did the whole witch dance seance situation, which was kind of fun. This was another thing I predicted. I predicted that she would play Champagne Problems on piano. And what does she do? Champagne Problems on piano. Champagne Problems on piano. I think that has to happen. So before Champagne Problems, she gives her little speech, and multiple times she has said, I have recorded all 6 of my previous albums. So the fact that she's saying that she has finished the re-records essentially is a little bit scary, because they could drop at any time. I think she just wanted us to know, yes, I am still doing that. We are still releasing the re-recorded albums. And so I thought she was gonna end Champagne Problems and then move on, but no. I think as soon as she started setting this table, my friend was like, she's gonna sing Tolerate It, and I'm like, no way. And then the girl playing piano, you could kind of hear the undertones of Tolerate It, and I was like, what is even happening? Not in a million years I would have believed that she would play all these songs from Evermore. It was insane. But I'm really glad that she gave Evermore its moment, and oh my gosh, her calling us out in her little speech saying I don't know why you guys think I hate Evermore. I love this album so much. She's like, I've seen it all on on TikTok and everywhere. Like, you guys need to stop because I love this album. I thought that was so funny. And then like literally 30 seconds after Tolerate It ends, the saddest song on Evermore, we get whiplashed right into Reputation. The snake zips across the screen and I've never seen such shock. Like, I've never felt that much shock, like, collectively. Everyone in the stadium was like, what the hell's happening? I think that was like so aggressive of her to go from Evermore to Reputation. But I think that's kind of like the point of the show. She needed like high energy moments, and then she needed her like moments to like sit down and just like play acoustic songs so she can like conserve her energy, because literally a 3-hour and 15-minute concert. So she goes from singing really, really sad songs into snakes and aggressive and just like the complete opposite. I think at this point I'm still thinking like she's just going to play popular songs from each era, but she did play Don't Blame Me, and I am really glad that she continued to include that, because that was like a huge moment on the Reputation tour, the most iconic performance, and it wasn't a single, so I was like thinking maybe she wouldn't play it, but it was important to us, so glad that she kept that on the set list. Of course, we got to sing Delicate, 1 2 3 Let's Go Bitch, like the best thing ever, and then we get to Speak Now. You know, I don't think I knew how many songs from each album. I didn't have an expectation for how many from each album, but I really was thinking at least more than one, but unfortunately for Speak Now, that was not true. So after Reputation, when the snake slithers away, we get like the purple lights, and I'm like, oh, she's opening up this section with Enchanted. That's perfect. She comes out in the most beautiful ball gown dress. I don't know why I thought like she was gonna come back to Speak Now, because it just wasn't gonna happen. I understand like she had this whole like big thing for Enchanted. The dress, the lights, the dancers, it had its big moment. But when she went away and they brought out the red cart thing, I was like, oh, is that it? I tried not to be disappointed. Like, I really tried not to be disappointed, because Speak Now is my favorite album. So I was curious why she didn't at least do 2 songs from Speak Now. I get cuts had to be made, she had to make decisions, but 1 song? I'm not upset. No. I really wish she just would have played like a chorus of Sparks Fly, you know? Just something. Anyways, so she moves on to Red Era. I thought it was really fun. I knew that she was going to do something to like bring back an outfit or a look from the Red Era, so I was really happy that she had that shirt from 22, and it's been really fun because each night she wears a different variation of that shirt, and people think it's like a secret message, which it still could be, but I still think she might be messing with us by making different letters different colors. People are trying to like unscramble the letters. They think it's gonna spell out Speak Now, Taylor's version, something like that. So of course she plays 22, she plays We Are Never Getting Back Together, I Knew Her Trouble. Of course, like I said, I predicted that she would play all 10 minutes of All Too Well. She just had to, and I said it was gonna be acoustic, and it was. That she's going to do all 10 minutes of All Too Well, like that's a given. And I do think she'll play it acoustically. It's kind of like exactly how I imagine it being, and I'm just like, I never thought All Too Well would be like a set list song, but here it is. All Too Well was the surprise song at my show at the Reputation tour, and I really thought I would never hear it live again, and so obviously overjoyed that she kept All Too Well 10 on the set list. And then this brings us to the folklore section, which again shocked me so much because I didn't think she was gonna give this much attention to Evermore and Folklore, because of the nature of the albums is just more intimate, quiet, sad songs. I just wasn't sure how that was going to translate to a stadium, but she did it. So the first 4 shows she played, the first 2 weekends she sang and opened it with Invisible String. And so I was like shocked that she sang the entire song, and it was like the most beautiful visual ever. The lights, I have this really, really cool picture I took the first night, and it It was like so beautiful. On the third weekend of the tour, she switched it to The One, and she's been playing The One ever since. Obviously, we know there's some events and some news that has broke, which I just don't feel the need to comment on or make a video about, just because I just think it's none of my business, none of our business to be into Taylor's business. But allegedly, there was a breakup, and it just so happened that she switched Invisible String to The One that week. I don't know if that's intentional, but it feels a little bit that way. I'm just really glad I got to see Invisible String because I'm not sure if she'll go back to singing it. But I was shocked that she sang the entire song and not like an abridged version up on the little folklore cabin, and it was like the cutest thing ever. And oh my god, the dresses that she's been wearing for folklore have been so ethereal, beautiful. My favorite was the one from last weekend. She wore a green dress that looked like ivy, and it was just so beautiful. I was also really surprised that she sang The Last Great American Dynasty. It's like, it kind of makes sense because it's folklore, it's kind of like storytelling, and the set was just beautiful. Like everything about the visuals, like there was some points in the show that I couldn't tell what was a physical prop and what was a part of the screen. That's how good the visuals were. So she sings The Last Great American Dynasty, and then she gets her guitar, and of course she sings Betty acoustically. I predicted she would include the folklore love triangle, or I think it'd be really cool if she did the folklore love triangle, Cardigan, Betty, and August. I would just love to see it. I think I was thinking that was the only thing she was gonna do from folklore, so the fact that she made this like a whole 30-minute set was really cool. And it makes sense that the most recent albums got the most airtime on the tour, so Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, and Lover, they all have the most songs on the set list because obviously she hasn't toured them before, so you know, fair enough. And then she sings Betty, and then she goes straight into August, and the visuals and like the lighting and everything, it was just like so fun. What I was not expecting was Illicit Affairs. That part where she like is like on the ground and yelling. Essentially she just sings the bridge over and over again from Illicit Affairs, and I always kind of included that song as a part of the love triangle in folklore because Illicit Affairs just seemed very connected to August, so the fact that she kind of connected those two songs was like really cool, and something I never thought she was gonna do. So emotional. And then, you know, while she's already on the ground singing this emotional song, she goes into My Tears Ricochet. Is very symbolic, obviously, because that song is all about, you know, betrayal and the selling of her masters, all of that. Of course, we gotta end it out with Cardigan, so she does do all 3 songs in the trilogy. And then for the surprise songs for the first 2 shows, the first show was Mirror Ball. At the end of my video I had made 3 months ago, I just put like a bunch of like songs I would love to see live. Mirror Ball was one of them, and I didn't think that she would ever play Mirror Ball. I thought that was like a reach, so the fact that she played it for my surprise song, I was like so over the moon. I would love to see Mirror Ball. That would be amazing. And then the second night she played This Is Me Trying, and I have this clip from the video that was like, I'm literally gonna die if I ever hear that song live, and I did. I definitely did. This Is Me Trying. If Taylor Swift played this like acoustically, I think I would go into cardiac arrest. I was not expecting her to play that. I'm very blessed that I got Mirror Ball and This Is Me Trying, because those are some of my favorite songs from the album. The way that she structured this show, I just like so agree with it so much. Having 1989 go second to last was a really good idea because it's just like the most popular songs, you know, the fun like upbeat dancing songs, Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, and the outfits that she wears for this vlog are so cute and so 1989 because it's almost like she took that outfit that she wore on the 1989 tour for the Shake It Off section and kind of like redid it a little bit, reworked it, and she's wearing like the same colors of these like fringe 2-piece outfits. So far I think she's had pink, green, and then orange is the newest color. She might have more, I don't know. And then for Blank Space, she had the golf club that she, you know, used for the 1989 tour, and it was like a glow-in-the-dark golf club, and I thought that was so funny and so iconic that she brought that back. And then when she sang Bad Blood, this is like, doesn't really have to do with anything. There's fire, and you can feel the fire on your face. It's like so hot and it lights up the entire stadium. So that was like aggressive and just like shocking. Then in the background you can see the Lover House is burning down. Lover House is no more. I don't know what that symbolizes, but I thought that was really funny. Just like, enough with your theories, I'm burning down the Lover House. And then we get to my favorite part of the show, the surprise song section, and I knew she was going to have one of these sections. I just didn't know like where she would fit it into in the show. Because it was the first show, we did not realize that they were two separate surprise songs. We thought she was going to be playing Tim McGraw on the piano as her little debut moment, but alas, two different surprise songs. And ever since, well, really the Speak Now tour, she's done this like surprise song element. On the Speak Now tour though, she played covers, whereas when she got to the Red tour, then she did surprise songs. Red tour, 1989 Reputation, she's just done those surprise songs. And so she has said that she's planning on playing a different song every single night and trying not to repeat any unless she like really messes up. So that's what she said the first night, but she has since changed those rules. She recently played You're on Your Own Kid as a surprise song, and people were so upset because then they thought they would never get to hear that song, and everybody loved that song. But then she said if the song is from Midnights, that she can play it as many times as she wants to. There's so many songs to choose from, and I just know that obviously I will not be able to see all of them, but it breaks my heart because so many of these songs I've always wanted to hear live. And she just played Mean. That was like one of my top songs that I wanted for a surprise song, but I think I definitely accepted that there's a very slim chance that I actually get a song that's like, you know, in my top 5 or whatever. I'm still holding out hope for Last Kiss though. If she plays that when I'm not there, I will actually cry. So for the surprise songs, obviously we've heard songs from Folklore, we've heard songs from Midnights and Speak Now. Like, she's playing songs from albums that aren't getting as much airtime on the tour, and also like her newer albums. She has not played a song from Reputation yet. As of right now, 1 month into the tour. We have 3 or 4 months left of this tour. That's crazy. And she wears these really pretty dresses for the surprise section. So far she's had a red dress, a green dress, and recently this past weekend a yellow dress. And then she does her little dive into the stage, which was like a collective gasp throughout the crowd that first night. It was like, wait, did she just jump straight into the stage? Still waiting to figure out what catches her exactly and everything. I just don't understand how she could just like fully headfirst dive into the stage like that. And then the last section of the show is Midnights, which makes sense because it's the most recent album, Lavender Haze, and she goes like bam, 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 back to back. Like the most songs that she sings are from this section, I'm pretty sure. Maybe tied with Folklore. I was so happy she sang Midnight Rain. That was on my wish list, and I wasn't sure she was gonna play that one. So there's 3 music videos, so obviously we knew we were getting those songs, Lavender Haze, Antihero, and Bejeweled, but I wasn't sure what other songs she would include in the block. So I'm really happy about Midnight Rain, and when she started singing Vigilante shit, everybody was like, what the heck? And the whole chair dance, like that was shocking to say the least. Mastermind, which was really cute, and I loved that song so much. And then ending with Karma, which I don't know why I didn't think she would do that, but that makes so much sense. Like that song is such a closer. Her little like tinsel jacket is so cute. And then at the very, very end, there is an orange door that everybody thinks is like the Karma door. If you haven't seen my conspiracy video about the lost album Karma, go check that out because people think this is an Easter egg for that. I don't know. I'll be forever finding Easter eggs that point to the fact that Taylor Swift has a lost album called Karma. But then recently somebody also said that, like, I forget which show it was, that the door was purple this past weekend. I don't know if any of that means anything, like if there's Speak Now coming, Karma, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be more Easter eggs to clown about throughout this tour. But overall, there was a lot of shocking elements for this tour and a lot of things I didn't expect, and then there was things that I did predict correctly. Comment down below and tell me if you predicted anything correctly, because I think Taylor Swift does a really good job of just like completely surprising us in like us thinking we know what's gonna happen based on this, and this, and then her completely flipping the script on us to keep things exciting as she always does, just kind of like sitting back and watching our ridiculous theories and laughing at us. But I just wanted to share with you guys my reaction and just analysis of the show and the set list and my opinions. If you don't have tickets and still want to watch the tour, so many people live stream it on TikTok, some people on Instagram, and so every weekend I've just been watching live streams and it's just been really fun. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe because I post new videos every week. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.